This is Michael Hill reporting for Superbike News TV here at Brno for the fifth round of the KTM European Junior Cup 2012. I'm joined by American Brandon Kyee, who's had some pretty good results over the opening four races in the championship. Brandon, we weren't at Aragon in Spain where the weather was 40 degrees and completely different to the last time we spoke to you in Monza, where it was obviously very much the opposite with torrential rain. Talk to us a little bit before we talk about this weekend, on your weekend in Aragon.
Practice and qualifying were really rough. I ended up qualifying 15th, but the race went a lot better, and we ended up finishing 8th overall during the race, so it was a big improvement.
Yeah, no, we're seeing that this year quite a lot with you, Brandon, that as you adapt from what was a 250 in last year's championship onto the bigger 690 machines, that maybe you aren't quite on it, if that's not being disrespectful in qualifying, but certainly in the race, and I remember back in Misano, you're putting together some really strong races. What do you think the difference is to that leap on in the race? Is that just the fact that you're in racing conditions, or what is it that gives you that extra motivation to get you obviously into the top 10?
Well, definitely being in the race, it's definitely makes me ride a lot harder, because knowing I want to be up top. But it's just getting more seat time over the weekend, and some of these tracks I've never been to, it's just getting more seat time on the track and the bikes, because this is only my second year on a big bike, so it's just a giant learning experience the whole time.
And you're absolutely right, you mentioned it's a big learning experience for you. What's the biggest thing that you found in jumping from the smaller machine onto this big 690? Because they're a big piece of kit.
It's a lot more power than the Ninjas, but it's also the weight of the bike is a lot higher, so it's a lot bigger bike to flick back and forth in between the turns. And yeah, I just got to muscle it around a lot more. And
again, before we talk about this weekend in Brno, which is a circuit I think you've been to before. No, you didn't. You didn't come here last year. You didn't, because it's all going to be new for you. So before we talk about Brno and the challenge of this weekend, we've become friends over the end of last year and this year, and we're friends on Facebook. And you seem to certainly do a lot of travelling with your family. It's quite nice to see you make the trek over from the States for every race, and you've been relaxing quite a lot. I think you've been to Disneyland or Orlando, Florida. You've been all over the place. So it's just like life is a big holiday for you.
Yeah, my life is great. I'm just traveling everywhere. I get to travel, especially with the whole family. We get to just hang out together and relax sometimes.
I mean, I used to race myself back in the British Championship, but how important is it sort of really having your family with you? I mean, your dad's involved with obviously the mechanic and your mum and your sisters here sort of every weekend. Is that a big factor for you? It must be obviously quite nice to help you relax. So you've got your family around you.
Yeah, it's definitely good to have some pressure, but it's good to have the family around sometimes to help me relax and just hang out and get my mind off of things sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about Brno then this weekend. It's a circuit that you haven't been to. I apologise, I thought you had been here last year. But how do you go about then learning a new circuit for the first time, especially on the bigger bike?
Well, yesterday I went around the track once on the scooter, and then we did a track walk with Simon Crafer, which always helps a ton. And while you're walking, you just want to walk on the line that you would be on your bike, find all your apexes, just try to figure out whereabouts you want to be on the throttle and whatnot.
And realistically then, Brandon, before we let you go for your compulsory briefing, what are you hoping for this weekend in qualifying and then for the race? Another top 10?
Another top 10 would be nice.
Excellent. And just before we leave it then, just the final thing, do you have a personal website or anywhere that if people are wanting to follow you as an individual athlete or sportsman, that they can actually track you themselves?
Yeah, I have a Facebook page, Brandon Kyee Racing, if you want to go check it out.
Excellent, Brandon. Always nice talking to you. We'll let you get back to preparing, and have a great weekend here in Brno.
Thank you.